Welcome to our Criminology Theory project. My name is Janiyah Key, and today I'll be focusing on Culture Deviance Theory. This theory provides a lens to understand how crime emerges, not merely from individual choices, but from broader social and cultural environments. In this presentation, we'll explore who developed the theory, what it argues, and how it's supported by real-world evidence and statistics. Understanding cultural deviance isn't just academic, but it's vital to grasping how environments shape behavior in ways society may label as criminal. Clifford and Henry McKay were two sociologists who fundamentally reshaped criminology by introducing the role of environmental factors. Part of the influential Chicago school, they emphasized how crime patterns are not randomly distributed, but rooted in specific urban areas marked by poverty, instability, and lack of community cohesion. Their 1942 publication, Juvenile Delinquency in Urban Areas, was pivotal. Through empirical mapping of delinquency in Chicago, they demonstrated how youth crime was highly concentrated in specific neighborhoods, regardless of who lived there. Their legacy persists in modern criminology. Their insights not only informed the culture deviance theory, but also helped form the basis of many contemporary approaches to understanding urban crime. Culture deviance theory offers a nuanced lens to understand why people commit crimes. It's not about individual pathology, but about collective values, especially those born out of necessity in challenging environments. When people are raised in communities with persistent poverty, broken institutions, and social disorganization, they often adapt by embracing subcultures that provide survival strategies, even if those strategies are criminal by legal definitions. So, this theory tells us people follow the rules that make sense in their world, even if those rules clash with society's laws. To fully grasp culture deviance theory, we need to consider the historical and academic context in which it emerged. Shaw and McKay developed this perspective during the 1930s and 1940s as part of the Chicago School's broader work on urban sociology. In 1942, they published Juvenile Delinquency in Urban Areas, a landmark study which revealed how specific neighborhoods, regardless of who lived there, consistently produced higher rates of juvenile crime. This led to the insight that crime is as much about location and environment as it is about behavior. Today, culture deviance theory remains relevant, especially as we continue to study how structural inequality and neighborhood conditions shape criminal patterns. And I really want to emphasize how we're looking at systemic inequality as a major contributing factor to neighborhood conditions and how those conditions, how that environment is shaping criminal patterns. Here are the four core concepts you need to understand about culture deviance theory. First, criminal behavior is learned. It is not something someone is born with. In disadvantaged neighborhoods, deviant values are passed from one generation to the next through socialization. Second, these subcultures emerge as adaptations to environmental stress factors like poverty, weak institutions, and limited opportunity, which push people towards alternative value systems. Third, those new norms often conflict with societal ones. While society may value law abiding behavior, some subcultures instead value toughness or defiance. And lastly, crime becomes a way to conform, not to society, but to the subculture, Within these environments, illegal actions may be the way to earn respect or protection. To make this theory more concrete, more relatable, let's take a minute and consider a real world example. Imagine a teenager growing up in a gang dominated neighborhood. For them, everyday life is shaped by a subculture where criminal behavior such as violence or drug dealing, gang banging, is not only normalized, but sometimes necessary. It's how you gain protection, it's how you earn respect and find a place within the social structure. In this context, law breaking isn't about defying society, it's about surviving and thriving in the only system that seems acceptable. This teen isn't inherently criminal, but they're adapting to the values of their surrounding, which culture deviance theory helps us understand in depth. Culture deviance theory isn't just theoretical, it's supported by real world data. Statistics consistently show how areas with high poverty, unemployment, and social instability also exhibit higher crime rates. These structural disadvantages help explain why deviant subcultures emerge. In such neighborhoods, traditional social institutions like schools, families, religious institutions, community groups all struggle to maintain influence. Research by scholars like Elijah Anderson further backs this up. His Code of the Street reveals how norms of toughness and retaliation are adopted for survival. Importantly, when communities invest in local development and cohesion, crime drops. This proves how culture changes when the environment changes. Here's a phrase that sums up culture deviance theory perfectly. People follow the rules of their neighborhood, even if those rules go against society's laws. This memorable statement highlights the essence of the theory, how crime is not just a choice, it's often a reflection of the environment. Individuals behave accordingly to what's expected and rewarded in their immediate surroundings. If those surroundings value defiance, toughness, or illegal survival strategies, systemic racism, injustice, poverty, then those become the rules people follow. This perspective challenges us to think about crime as a product of social context and not merely personal intent. Before we wrap up, I'd like to take a look at a brief video that brings the theory to life. It's a 2-minute explainer that visualizes the key ideas we've discussed, including how environment and culture shape behavior. The video is a great complement to the concepts we've covered, particularly for visual learners. It connects academic theory to everyday examples and provides a helpful recap of how culture deviance theory operates in real-world scenarios. Feel free to take notes or reflect on how the visuals align with what you've learned so far. To conclude, culture deviance theory provides a powerful framework for understanding crime as a product of environment, culture, and learned behavior, not simply personal moral failure. It urges us to look beyond the individual and into the community dynamics which breed deviant norms. By understanding how subcultures form in response to disadvantage, we can better address root causes of crime through policy and reform. This theory has lasting value in criminology, sociology, and urban planning. It teaches us that when we invest in communities, we alter the context. We can change the culture and ultimately the outcomes. As we conclude this presentation, I would like to take a moment of acknowledgement to the contributors of those who have supported this academic endeavor. Again, my name is Janiyah Key, and I am currently enrolled in CJ 111 at Grand Rapids Community College, where we delve into the intricate relationship between culture and crime. Under the guidance of Professor Dr. Lionel Talbert, I am gaining invaluable insights into the field of criminology. This presentation was prepared on September 11th, 2025. And as we know, September 11th or 9/11 was a date that signifies a tremendous impact to American society as a whole. Not only the culmination of my research, but also my commitment to understanding these societal factors are reasons that all lead into understanding the influence of criminal behavior. And as we take a moment of silence for all of those lost on 9/11, the survivors, the families, and the lasting impact, I want to say thank you for your attention.